My name is Professor Yitzchak Kerem. I'm going to teach you in this mini course on Greek Jewry. Since 1976, when I was a student in Athens the first time, I've been connected to Greece, and later, beginning in '82, I've been connected to the research of Greek Jewry and Sephardic studies, and finally the Holocaust. I have two expertise. One is on Sephardim in the Holocaust in 18 countries, and the other is Sephardic genealogy. In general, I'm a historian on the non-Ashkenazi Jews. I edit a monthly email publication on Sephardic Jewry. It used to be called Sfarad, the Sephardic newsletter. Now it's called Sfarad v'Hamizrach. Since the end of the first decade of the 21st century, I've been trying to start a Sephardic museum in Jerusalem. I also started a foundation in Los Angeles called the Foundation for Jewish Diversity. And most of my time I research Sephardic Jewry. A little bit I connected to public campaigns against past injustices against the Sephardim. I'm on the Knesset Committee for Holocaust Survivors, and there I advocate for Sephardic rights and for some past scandals from the 1950s about the Yemenite and other Sephardic baby kidnappings, the radiation experiments, medical experiments. But in general, I try to fill in the gap and make awareness about the fact that the Sephardim and Eastern Jews are ostracized in museums, in educational curriculum, public commemoration, and Jewish in general public culture. This course that you're going to be part of is an overview of Greek Jewry from the late Middle Ages, from the time when the expulsees came from Spain and Portugal and Italy. And at first they came to Western Greece, and then they made Salonika a Sephardic cultural and economic capital. Jews of the Greek peninsula can be divided into three geographically. In the extreme west, in the Ionian cultures, it was a Jewish Italian culture. They spoke a Judeo-Italian dialect stemming from the Venetian Empire. You could say a Venetian Judeo-Italian dialect. Those included the islands of Corfu, Zakynthos, Kefalonia. In the west of Greece, but going eastward from the Ionian Islands, you have Epirus, northwestern Greece. That's where the Greek Jews lived, the Romaniot Jews, in communities like Yanina, Arta, and later Preveza. Their culture was a culture of a Judeo-Greek dialect, and a culture stemming from the late Antiquity period, late Second Temple period, and in the Byzantine Empire. So it was a Greek, Jewish, Byzantine culture, and when the Sephardim came, they overtook, in terms of Jewish law, this culture and also the prayer style. Some remnants remained, but essentially they entered the Sephardic fold. And then you have the Sephardic culture, which is basically centered in the northern part of Greece, in Macedonia and Thrace, Salonika being the biggest community. It had a glorious 16th and 17th century, then was ruptured by a false messiah, Shabtai Tzvi, and a Sabbatian wave. And then Salonican and Jews of the Greek peninsula entered into a period of mediocrity until the mid-19th century, where there was Europeanization, the entrance of Western education, and the Alliance Israélite Universelle in French and other foreign school systems. And then the Ottoman Empire is breaking up, but in the meantime, Salonika still is, and it's a growing Jewish population. At the end of the Ottoman Empire in 1912, there were 80,000 Jews. The Jews were a majority of the city for most of 450 years. A change in the whole makeup of Greek Jewry was during the Revolution and the creation of the modern state. There was a Greek insurrection of insurgents from Romania who created the Greek state. The fighting was from 1821 to 1833. The beginning of the fighting, the Greek Phanariot insurgents, they destroyed 11 Jewish communities in the Peloponnese and in Attica. In Attica, they destroyed this old Jewish community of thieves of over 2,000 people. In the Peloponnese, they destroyed the Jewish community of Tripoli, which had 1,200 people. Sparta, Mistra, smaller communities like Argos, Naflion, Jewish communities on the island of Spetsi and Idra. All this is usually overlooked in the history, but this is, in terms of, if we're looking at the whole Greek peninsula, this was the break. In Crete, it was under Venetian rule, but it was a melange of Jews from who were Romaniot, Sephardic, and Italian, and even Jews who came before the Sephardim from Ashkenaz in Central Europe. So in the Peloponnese, you had a merging of all these four cultures, but the Jews were killed there. Crete was a small population, which in the end was annihilated during the Holocaust. But you would see in the 19th, 20th century this melange in Crete of all these different Jewish communities and cultures in one community. Most of the Jews of Salonika died in the Holocaust. Of 25,000 Jews in the southern part of Greece, 15,000 were deported, 10,000 were rescued in Greece. The course will also focus on the various cultures, these three cultures of Greek Jewry, about theater, a little bit about cooking, about changes in dress, customs, what you would call folklore, but we'll call it folk beliefs, and the importance of the culture, whether it's Judeo-Spanish theater or music, and a whole variety of different facets in short 6-minute lessons and in a total of 8 units. So I hope you enjoy the course.